Right then, ladies and gentlemen, the sun is out, the birds are singing. Gonna cook proper lump of meat, T-bone steak. So here, I've got some slightly softened butter, but you just kind of work it and soften it up, all right? And into that, some Dijon mustard, 2 teaspoons of cracked black pepper, and then a good pinch of rock salt. Just kind of work all the flavors together. Get yourself some cling film, dollop the butter into the cling film, and then kind of wrap it over the top, and you're going to squeeze it into a tube, all right? And you just roll it up, tie the ends. I'm going to take slices of it, serve it with the steak right at the end. Steak. Who does not love steak? And this, it's got to be seen as one of the ultimate cuts of steak around. This is a T-bone steak, all right? So it's called a T-bone steak, obviously, because the bone in it is shaped like a T. But either side of that kind of middle stretch of bone, that rib, you've got the fillet, and then you've got the sirloin. You've got to make sure that it's nice and thick. If it's too thin, it will be easy to overcook it, and we don't want to do that, okay? You've spent a lot of money on this, let's cook it properly. Salt and pepper. We want a bit more of a controlled, gentle cooking, right? But at the same point, it needs to be hot enough so you can sear it. So around about 240 in a big green egg. And I'm gonna try and rest it and cook it so fat side down first, so it just renders out the fat just a little bit, because as that fat drips onto the coals, it will create smoke and fire, and it will just help generate loads of heat, but also taste and flavor. So once you've rendered the fat just a little bit, okay, you've got some fire and some smoke coming, just gonna flip the steak onto its side and close the lid. And that will stop the flames and stop the fire, but the smoke will sit in there and the heat will stay there. This steak is gonna take around about 5 minutes on each side. So as that steak's cooking, I'm just gonna prep my veg to go in there. Starting off with a leek. This is one whole leek. Just gonna take the top end of the green bit, because this is just a little bit dry and horrible. And then just cut it all the way through the middle, but keep that rooty end on, okay? Because we're gonna grill it as a whole piece like that. Purple sprout and broccoli, it's beautiful, grilled, it's absolutely amazing. Just have a little look at the ends, they may be a little woody, can trim them. Spring onions, don't do anything to them. Normal onions, okay? Cut them in half through the rooty end, okay? Keep that on, all right? Because we're gonna cut them into quarters. Peel the outer skin, but you keep that rooty end on, okay? And do the same with a normal white onion. Just have a little check on the steak, flip it over, close the lid again. And the next thing, get a little drizzle of olive oil, pinch of salt, and these guys are ready to go on the grill. So after about 5 minutes of cooking each side, taking the steak off, I'm just gonna leave it for rest for around about, 5-10 minutes, there's no real stress. So whilst that's resting, the veg is grilling. This is a great way of cooking vegetables on a green egg like this, because they've got this fantastic kind of flavour that you get from the smoke and the char and the heat. And then after about 4 or 5 minutes, the charred grilled veg is ready to go. This is a great way of cooking it to get texture in as well. The veg will still stay nice and crunchy, a bit crispy. So once the veg comes off, some nice olive oil, just give it a little drizzle, another pinch of salt, twist of pepper, and then here, I've got some fresh thyme. I'm just gonna run my knife through it, roughly, sprinkle that over the top. I'm just gonna serve it on a lovely board where everyone can help themselves. So we've got the roasted veg, all that lovely onion flavour, and to go with that, some of these salted anchovies. Now you could chop them up if you want, but honestly, just put a couple on each bit of veg, and the gorgeous caramelised lemon, look at that. It's taken the lemon to the next level. And then of course, the steak. It's rested nicely, and you just come down the T and remove the fillet, and on the other side, remove the sirloin, and you can use this to place in the middle, so you can rest all your steak on it and make it look beautiful. Then take your knife, just slice it. And that resting has allowed the meat to go lovely and pink. But you've got this wonderful kind of crispy crunch as you cut through it, where it's charred nicely because the temperature of the green egg was perfect. And just pile the pieces up. Do the same with the fillet. And get yourself the black pepper butter. 2 or 3 slices of this. Stick that onto the steak. A little bit more onto the veggies. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. A beautiful T-bone steak with charred grilled vegetables, all cooked on a green egg. Smoky, charred, meaty flavours, absolutely delicious.